Welcome, everyone, to the Miss Art World podcast. I'm your host, Catherine, with my co-host, Samuel.
What up, Art World?
And it's been a minute since we've had a podcast. So this is our new podcast. I took a break. I had a baby, and now I'm back at it. So I'm really excited to introduce Ron and Rachel.
I'm just going to say, I don't know if having a baby is an excuse not to do podcasts. You just had to sit there and talk.
No.
You could have done it from the hospital.
I could have. What kind of artist am I?
Exactly. Without, logging and taking pictures of the entire event and then posting it on social media.
Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to see that.
I do.
So we have Ron and Rachel, and I want to swing it over to you guys to do a quick introduction, and then we can get more into your show that's going to be opening up very soon.
Yes. Okay, I'll jump in. Hi, I'm Rachel Bailit, and I am an actress, a model, and an acting teacher at the Lee Strasberg Theater and Film Institute. And I have been a professional model for over 10 years, working for fine artists and working at all the animation studios, video game companies, and TV shows in LA. It is very much a case of falling down a rabbit hole and discovering this huge art scene that's available for models in LA. And Ron is my artist. We have an opening this weekend at BG Gallery called An Artist and a Muse, and I'm the muse.
And I'm the artist. My name is Ron Schmidtling. I'm a paleontologist. I do a lot of science-related and art-related work as well. I work at the as a consultant for the Getty Museum on occasion when they have some kind of strange Renaissance bronze sculpture of Venus or something, and they're trying to figure out how old it is or if it's real or fake or something like that. And so at the Getty has a drawing group, and that's how I met Rachel. She came to be the model for the drawing group.
Oh, that was my first question.
Yeah, how long ago was that?
That was over 10 years ago. Yeah, it was 2011.
And the exhibit that is opening is a 10-year retrospective of your work together.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. When it was 2021, I got together with Rachel. I'm like, Rachel, it's been 10 years. We should do something. She's like, yeah, let's go. We got to do a whole show. Because we really haven't. I mean, we showed a couple of pieces over the years, here and there, but nothing about the amount that we have. It's really interesting when you have someone who's kind of regular. Every couple of months we were doing something.
Every couple of months, please. It was sometimes twice a week. So I, have this need to express constantly. So I'd say, Ron, let's go make art. That was the whole thing. Let's go make art. And the exhibit is about making art for the sake of making art. And it was a survival tool for me personally to express myself, through the ups and downs of life, the ups and downs of being an actress. And it was fun. It was just something fun. We both live on the West Side, so it was really convenient for us to constantly get together and be improvisational.
Do you feel that being you have the same expression or as an artist does, being the muse, or do you feel like Ron's able to capture kind of what because you said you were able to express yourself in that art? Do you feel like the art that he's made kind of expressed what you felt in that moment, or is it more of what Ron was feeling, how you were expressing through how Ron felt in that moment?
I think yes. Ron and I we're so connected, Also, there was a lot of talking that went on in these sessions. So when I look at the 70 plus pieces we are going to have at BG Gallery, I see my life. I see, deep conversations and complaining and sharing and, asking for advice. I see all of that. And I think Ron was able to catch a lot of the drawings. I'm look a little disturbed You can see something's going on, and other times you can really see the joy in the photographs. You can really see the joy, but sometimes you can see this pensive quality. And I think that Ron is so in touch with me that he was able to pick up what was going on for sure.
Did you guys start off with a like kind of a very strong connection, or was it built over time as you guys got more familiar with each other and the exploration of creating really cemented that bond?
Well, it was kind of immediate in the sense that I at the Getty drawing group, I was the first person to see Rachel. I opened the door when she knocked to come into the studio. I'm like, wow, who is this? And she was vivacious and fun and bright and beautiful. And I was like, oh, I've got to hire her again. And so from that point on, it was that way. And she liked me because I have lots of good stories about science.
He was cool. He's got his Indiana Jones hat, and he was a paleontologist. And sometimes artists, I can say most of the time, the artists are quiet and sort of withdrawn, you know. And I go into many studios where it's hard to get people to talk. Now, that's not always the case. There are some really fun sessions, but Ron was really open and available to become my friend that night, which makes the model feel more comfortable. I've gone into so many places, especially when I was life modeling, which I don't do anymore, but when I was life modeling, there's so much vulnerability. So to have a friend there that you can connect with on your breaks every 20 minutes is really nice.
What is life modeling?
Life modeling is nude. It is the anatomy. And I know it's a fancy name. I started as a costume model. And as an actress, I already had all the costumes. I already had all the wigs. I had everything. And then I felt I should challenge myself. I was doing a one-woman show, and my director kept telling me that I really wasn't like living in my body and owning what I was talking about, which a lot of it was my body and how Hollywood really body shamed me for having a voluptuous body. So I decided art modeling would help me in facing that, to be absolutely nude in front of everyone and own your imperfections and be proud. And so I did it for a very short time. And then I decided, well, I'm seeing drawings on Facebook. This isn't cool. I'm a teacher. I better stop. And then the last like 7 years have been all costume.
Yeah, absolutely. That. And you do notice at life drawing groups, often the model will, finish a pose and it'll be on the break. And, if nobody, she might just sit there quietly, and it's almost like,
or he.
Somebody, yeah, exactly. Could be a guy, which is like, somebody just talk to him, say hi. They're, because otherwise they're completely silent and standing,
Yeah.
And so it's
lonely.
Yeah. You said the first drawing that you did was or a first piece of art that you did was just a sketch, right? Or a drawing?
Right. It was a life drawing. Actually, one of the first ones is in the show.
Oh, wait, that was going to be my next question, is if it was in the show or not.
Well, and you two have created all kinds of art through different mediums. So it's not just sketching and drawing. You also have video, costumes, and photography. Can you talk about working with each other in the different mediums and how that kind of came about?
Yeah, that part of it was, my evolution as an artist from a strictly, figure drawing, illustration guy into experimenting with photography and that kind of thing. And, Rachel also was interested in exploring those different avenues, especially from her sort of acting point of view, where you actually, it's more than just a static image. It's, you have movement involved, and you have, speaking and sound and music sometimes.
Rachel, how do you feel about the different mediums? Do you have a favorite that you like to utilize? Is it the video because you can rely on your acting?
For sure. Absolutely. Did I just go sideways?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I like storytelling. And so that's why I ended up working for animators. I like telling a story without words. Behavior is so powerful in acting. So if I created a gesture, someone would, draw a dinosaur in my hand or tell a story. And so with Ron, he really indulged me in in coming along. Like I did have a monologue. We have a big slideshow in our exhibit, and I decided I wanted to do Shakespeare. I wanted to do a monologue and film it, but do it in real life. So I get bad news in the monologue, and we had the waitress bring over a note, and Ron made it into art. Throughout the 3rd Street Promenade, I'm doing this long monologue. Or sometimes Ron would film my auditions and we would make that into art. Mm-hmm. So it was performance driven for sure. And we also have 2 music videos that are in our slideshow, which have a narrative.
So it's interesting because I feel like you're not just a muse, because you have such a creative input into where you 2 go. Like, as you said, I came in saying I wanted to do a monologue, and Ron was like, okay. So it's like, it feels like this great balance between you being a creator, Ron being a creator, and then like both of you kind of serving as each other's muse.
That's a great observation. Yeah.
In the very beginning, it was like that. It was just, kind of the artist and muse relationship. I'd hire her to pose for a while, and we'd do a series of drawings that I was interested in, something like that. But, pretty early on, she'd give me a call and say, hey, I've got this idea, or, could we try that? Or I've got this costume and I need to have it made. Can you do that? Like, we could try.
Oh, Ron made so many of my costumes. He made my Barbarella costume, which is just extraordinary. We have wonderful photographs of that. Many costumes, many props. He's so super handy and can really make anything. And so, yes, it was mutual. We inspired each other. We continue to inspire each other. But I feel like the muse in the fact that I'm at the center of it, the receiving end of his beautiful art. And that's, to have someone that is so consistent in your life in general, right? Is mm-hmm. so beautiful and consistent in his admiration for my talent. It is, beyond moving, and vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, with the artist kind of makes it more of takes the experience or what the feelings are and makes it more of a tangible thing. Because he creates the painting or the drawing, or puts together the outfit, things like that, where I feel like that you're right. You are definitely the muse and he's more of the artist, and you guys kind of push each other forward to, never stop creating.
Yes.
Rachel, is there any pieces that Ron's created that you don't like?
Yes. It's true. Sometimes I don't like the way he draws my nose, or he'll accent, my jaw, things that, I'm not crazy about at certain angles. Or sometimes he makes me look very wide, and I'm like, no, don't make my thighs look like that. And
what I see.
But Ron has seen me go through, fluctuations of weight and size depending on modeling and working out, and if I had a gig, and that's very true, I think, of all women, and he's seen me through like 4 different hair colors, and the art reflects all these changes mm-hmm. in my body, in my personality, in my inner spirituality. I mean, you change a lot in 10 years.
That is true. And you fluctuate with what's happening in your life too. Like, are you taking care of yourself really well, or are you not, kind of thing as well. And I think we all do that as human beings, and having that kind of art
right
taken.
It's like Ron likes to bring chocolate over. I'm like, no chocolate this time. It just really depends. And I think what's really interesting is riding through life and all the changes. You know, Ron has seen me in love, out of love, hurt from love, and all that. All that is put down on paint in ink. It's all there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the parts of the exhibit, there's a lot of drawing. There's also a lot of photography, and so one of the exhibits is a series of photographs that kind of go through, take you through time and all kinds of either costumes, but you kind of get a sense of what's gone on in the past 10 years. So it's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's
locations too. Yeah.
There's also a calendar.
Yeah, I saw the calendar in the video, or
yes.
at least a picture of it.
Yeah, and we did that in 2014,
mm-hmm.
And she had this more raven hair at the time, and we did that, and it was so fun that we just decided we're going to print it for the show for people. So
that's 2023, cool. 24, right? Yeah.
I did make the calendar, however, start in July. So you're good,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I did want to ask you, as we're getting closer to the time we have to end, within the press release, it talks about exploring body image within a Hollywood backdrop, and talks about like objectification and stereotypes. Can you talk a little bit more about kind of how important LA as a backdrop and that kind of concept goes into this exhibit?
Yeah, it's well, I'll start. For me, it's huge because the objectification I've had my entire career until now. And it's, you don't think you get body shame for having a good body, but I feel like a woman who is well endowed and yes, who has a certain look or a certain vibrancy or personality. I was ridiculously typecast. I played hookers on multiple shows.
Mm-hmm.
A couple drug addicts when I was thin. So if I was too thin, I was a drug addict, and if I was voluptuous, it was one prostitute after another. And it's hard to feel bad about yourself in that way, like embarrassed, like for your parents to turn on the TV and you go to set and then they one show I was on, they actually got me undersized undergarments. So it was just, it's like really unpleasant just pushing that. And I got in that little narrow, window where I just couldn't get out with typecasting, and the modeling enabled me to feel free. And you know what? Some of the artists were overwhelmed too. I was told by Disney TV, by the drawing teacher, that I was too sexy to go model there.
Oh, no way.
I did model all over Disney though. Disney animation, they were wonderful. The theme parks, consumer products, I've modeled all over Disney. But there was this one department and I said, what are you talking about? What are you? I couldn't believe it. And so there's stereotypes in art, animation. Like, what is that? Like, I can't fit in there. And with Ron, he loves drawing the curves. I'll let him talk about that, what that means as an artist to draw that. But this show is giving me an opportunity to have to fully accept myself and be okay. And I know some people will probably be like, oh my God, there's so much of her. But it's not about me. It's about this collaboration. And already a friend of mine, his girlfriend thought like the drawing on the invitation was like naughty. Like, what is that association? Why are we so puritanical? Right. And we know that that's happening in our government. It's happening everywhere. That like, I was born a woman. Why do I have to hide myself? And so the art modeling, obviously, everything's out on the table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's always sort of an interplay. How do you deal with nudity? And so, but it has also been, in terms of an artist, when you're drawing the human form, it's like it's got the entire gamut of landscapes, I should say. And so, and to try and understand the human form is really understanding a lot about nature, and it's a wonderful thing, I guess. But yeah, it's here in Hollywood and dealing with different people's ideas about what beauty is, and then you get the exact opposite with artists going, okay, I'm going to do everything that's not beautiful. All right, it's like, thanks. I'm with you, but so.
Well, you're speaking my language. I'm like, more disgusting things. Yeah.
Yeah, but Katie, you do it on the backdrop of something beautiful.
Yeah.
And
so I like the position,
the contrast between the two.
But I get what you're
saying. With the cover that you were talking about being too sexy, is it the one that says 10-year collaboration with you looking over your shoulder?
No, it's a drawing. You may not have it. It's like my hands are around my knees. And Ron, can you show it? Do you have a flyer you can hold up? It's a drawing. I look like a big doll almost, but just because I look oversized in the flyer. But it's a drawing of me. You don't even see my figure, but you can tell by his lines that I'm not wearing anything, but everything's covered. And I said, when my friend said that his girlfriend had this reaction, just there it is.
Oh, really?
To myself, what could possibly be wrong with that? They're my knees.
Yeah, that's an odd thing to say, because you are completely covered, and you could be, honestly, could just be wearing shorts.
I know.
Yeah.
I know that image could be threatening is a good reason to have this art exhibit. And I always said I came to this world to live out loud. I didn't create it. I got it off a greeting card, but I love that. I came to this world to live out loud, and I will not live with shame. And there's so much beauty in the human form. And I know models, and Rod knows models all over this town. There's a whole underground art model scene that no one knows about. And they are all ages, and they are all shapes and sizes and ethnicities, and they're beautiful, and they're working at all the best art schools and not best art schools all over town. This is happening daily, and students are learning to draw the human figure without shame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we are getting close to our time, so I just want to remind everyone the exhibit is called An Artist and a Muse. It's a 10-year collaboration. The opening is July 8th through July 11th, and it's at the BG Gallery in Bergamot Station in Santa Monica. Samuel?
Yeah, Santa Monica. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll be seeing me. I'll come by just down the street.
Oh, great. Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, I hope you can both make it. The top back will be fun too on Sunday with Billy Gross, the director there. Yeah.
Is it puppy friendly?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay,
we
good.
have no problems with puppies. I don't know about the gallery, but we don't.
There will be nothing edible on the floor, I think.
Oh, good.
So the opening reception is July 8th from 5 to 10 p.m. And then the talkback is July 9th at 3 p.m.
2 p.m. now.
2 p.m.
Oh, 2 p.m. I'm sorry.
There'll be live music starting at 3 on Sunday. So
yes.
Oh, on Sunday?
Music.
It's gonna be awesome.
fun. Yeah, that's on Sunday. And also the gallery will be open Monday afternoon and Tuesday. If you can't make it this weekend, I will be there. And Ron will be there part of the time, and I will be there to personally give you a tour of the work. And so it's just a 4-day celebration. But we're so happy to be hosted by BG Gallery. They're very, very, very wonderful people there.
That's awesome.
Either of you have like an Instagram page or a website that you would like people to go and follow you?
Yes, of course. I am at Rachel Actrice, so actress in French, ACTRICE. And I'm also at rachelbailit.com, BAILIT. Thank you.
You can find me at on Instagram at Ron Schmidtling Art. All one word.
Perfect. Do you want to spell your last name just in case?
Yeah, you should.
Okay. RONSCHMIDTLING. It's a German Schmidt with a Chinese ling on the end of it.
Yeah, I feel like if someone was listening and they're like, okay, I'm going to look that up, I would get as far as Ron and be like, I don't. I'm guessing at this point.
Well, and thank you everyone for always listening. You can find us at missartworld.com on Instagram. And you can also, if you want to see our faces in little boxes, check us out on YouTube at Miss Art World as well.
Yeah, well, back, baby. No more baby time off. No. Back to work, back to potting.
Thank you so much to both of you. We're so honored to be here.
Thank you.
Of course. And thank you for being here and taking the time out of your day to go through everything. I'm excited to see. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see your thing this weekend.
Okay, come find us as soon as you get there.
I will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
Bye, Art World.
Bye.